Morning. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to Love 500. And welcome back to something that you've seen before. Something that you know the meaning of. Let's show you right now. Yes, here we are, an empty driveway. I think you know what that means. If you've watched the latest Project Dirt video, you would have seen, that's not oil down there by the way, it's just water, just in case you were wondering. Same as there. Yes, so you may have seen, if you watched Project Dirt, the latest Project Dirt video, that we've won another car. And the car is being delivered this afternoon. It was due to be picked up at 1 o'clock. Gallin had used the Copart app to book a pickup for 1 o'clock. But I haven't heard from him, and it's I think it's approaching 2 o'clock now, and I've not heard from him, so I'll have to send him a text. I know he was having work done on his truck this morning, so maybe he's delayed on that a little bit, but I'll give him a call. But it is coming, unless his truck's fallen apart or something. It is coming this afternoon. So we will be doing a little walk around. Won't be doing anything to it. Project Dirt is just hiding out of view there in the front of the house, just there. And as you can see, Beige Girl is out there. Beige Girl has currently got a completely flat battery. So I've got battery on charge down here, which is the one out of Cooey, which I've already said, I think, possibly on the other video. Anyway, so yeah, hopefully soon. Hopefully soon the car will be delivered and we can do the walk around. And again, we're going to do the usual, by the magic of YouTube. There she is. Look what we have here. Is that a slightly dented in sill I see there? Looks like it. This doesn't look too bad, does it?
Hey Paul.
You alright? Not bad. This doesn't look too bad, does it?
No, doesn't look.
No, it doesn't. Oh, thank you.
Logbook, at least.
Logbook, yeah.
Yeah. These days
Excellent.
we
They're
have
like
to be
gold
happy.
dust.
Here we go, yeah.
They're like gold dust, yeah. After all that.
Alright.
Let's have a look round. It's got an air freshener. I don't like. I've got a thing about other people's air fresheners. I don't like them.
Really?
I don't know why. Yeah.
I love them.
I just got this thing about them.
Really? So you've got a brand new mask.
Oh, really?
It is a recent one.
Oh, really?
Yeah, there's a brand new face mask in it.
It's a bit flat, that paintwork. That's had a dodgy respray there, I reckon. That'll need a good polish up.
Yeah, it does done. Yeah, but you need to fix that.
That's going to have a good polish up, that is. But there's not, touch wood, doesn't look that much to do to it. Oh, that sounds well. Yeah, that's a better idea. That's better. I think there's an issue with it anyway because it's got the ignition light up.
Everything is up, mate. Engine.
Yeah, no, I think it's I reckon it's the
throttle body.
No, I think it's oxygen sensor, lambda sensor.
Oh yeah, lambda sensor. Yeah, Yeah, then
I'll get that plugged in tomorrow. The Red Lounge. It's getting dark, unfortunately, so hopefully I think the video will be okay. So there's not much wrong with it, bodywork wise. The only thing I noticed is you can't see it in this light, but I think it's had I don't know about a DIY paint job here, but this rear quarter's been painted and it's a bit orange peely and a little bit not perfect. So if it was a sort of paint job that I did, I would be proud of it, but it's not a professional job. So I think probably a cutback and a polish will probably sort it. You can't even see it in this light at all. But there are, I'm pleased to say, no colour issues whatsoever. As I say, it is getting dark now, but it was daylight when he first got here. I've been standing talking to Gallin for a while, so. But there's no paint issues. There is a very, 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 very slight, the usual thing down here somewhere. You can barely see it actually, so I'm not even going to bother doing anything with it, I don't think. The bonnet is damaged, very slight dent, and luckily enough I've got a bonnet in this colour. I mean, it would repair this bonnet, but it's not worth it. I've already got one. So I haven't actually, apart from driving it down the drive, and we'll come to that in a minute, I've not even been in it. Let's have a look in the boot. In the boot we have, what have we got? Oh, hoses. What the hell? Hoses, door handle. That's a driver's door handle. Locking wheel nuts. One of them. Assume we got a spare. I wonder why we got those. Yeah, we got a spare. Good. This is a Copart customer car that someone sold. So it's got the C on there, so it's not an X. Lost type fleet. So this was fleet. So this was probably a lease car, and I'll tell you why. I'm going to try and show you actually. Shall I put? I don't even need to put the bonnet up. I'll get inside. I think the reason that this has gone up for sale. Oh, we've got the old glowing lights on there. Look, when you get in. Oh, they've gone out now. Yeah, so Speedo will need changing. Can you believe it? I've just sold a bloody Speedo. I'll have to buy one now, never mind. And 68,572 miles. First thing I like to do when I get in these, let's turn the lights off, is see if I've got any free CDs. I'll turn it on.
All students are aged between 18 and 20.
Oh, how disappointing, no free CDs. So turn that off. Right, where was I? Yes, so I'm just having a look around it at the same time. So we've got the glowing lights. So this needs to be got rid of, a new one put in it. Sod's law, I'd already sold the one that was in Project QE. But I believe the reason that this car has come up for auction is because, listen to this. It's all over the place, the engine. Start, stop, unavailable, check engine, we've got the engine light on, we've got the arc at it. It's banging and crashing. Now, that could be all sorts of things. So hopefully, multi-ECU scan will tell me what it is. If it's a throttle body or, I mean, it's missing, isn't it? Big time. It could be something serious like compression. You hear it? I'm going to turn it off. So it could be compression, worst case scenario. I think it's more likely to be the throttle body or the coil pack or a Duff spark plug or something like that. So the damage wise there isn't any. It's just this engine issue. So if I can get to the bottom of that rapido, this car will, apart from a clean, will be virtually ready to go. There's no cracks on the windscreen or anything. There's not, as far as I know, any cracks on the roof or anything stupid like that. It's relatively clean. It will obviously need a a valet inside, but I always do that anyway. So multi-ECU scan tomorrow will hopefully tell me what the problem is. So I'm hoping lambda sensor. That would be good, because that would be obviously easy to change. If it's a throttle body, I've got 2 throttle bodies. I can change that. If it's the coil pack, I've sold the coil pack, so I'd have to get another one. As we did with the last, it's always red cars, isn't it? As we did with the last red pop, I changed so many things. If it was injectors, I've got some injectors. I've got that's not difficult to change those. I probably got most things that it could be, but until I plug it in tomorrow into MES, we won't know. Someone was asking on the channel a little while ago about how we track down service history, and there isn't one, so I'll be doing that on this one. So Palmer's Motor Company, so I don't know who Palmer's Motor Company are. If they're a main dealer, that would be where it was bought new. If they are a second-hand dealer, it would have been where this was last bought, probably second-hand, or bought the time before, who knows, depending on whether it was sold through the trade, because traders do tend to put their own plates on. Let's have a look at the back one, see if the back one's the same. Yep, Palmer's Motor Company. Indicators all work. A bit not very yellow, are they? Quite white, those. Maybe the lenses are a bit worn out, so might have to replace those. They got they're quite white, aren't they? They're not yellow at all. They're very white. Maybe I can get some yellower bulbs to put in rather than changing the light. It seems a bit of a waste. So let's have a look at the roof. Well, it doesn't seem to be an aerial. I've got an aerial anyway. Yeah, no, there's nothing wrong with a glass roof, which is good. That seal's all okay. There's no dents in it at all, apart from that one on the seal. So if I can sort this engine out, give it a good clean and polish, clean it inside, it'll be back on the road inside a couple of days or so. It's MOT'd and it's taxed. Because I've got the logbook, it's still showing taxed. So in theory, it won't show. It won't need taxing until it gets registered on somebody else's name. So I could, in theory, park this on the road. So we'll have a look at this tomorrow. I'll tell you what, we'll just show you under the bonnet. It all looks clean enough. Well, it's dirty. That's broken as usual. Amount of times you get them though that they're broken. Battery. It's not the original battery. That all looks good down there. It's a bit dark at the moment. Let me get my torch. Where's my torch? Let's have a look at this lambda sensor. Well, lambda sensor looks dirty, but it's connected, and who knows? Can't see the bottom one from LS Cam. Bottom one looks okay, as far as I can tell. Obviously, MES will tell me, hopefully, tell me whether that's a problem. So it could be the throttle body. It's a possibility it's the throttle body. As I say, it could be lots of things. It really could be lots of things. It could be just a spark plug. But that's a bonus. So that was done in June 2017 at 54,000 miles. So it's at 68,000 now, 3 years later. So, but I'm pleased the fact, apart from that bonnet, which is a little bit dented, there's no damage to it. So it's just a mechanical bit to get to the bottom of, which I'm sure I will. So I'll be back tomorrow, and then we will figure out, or try and figure out, what's wrong with it, and then go from there. So, as I said before, I reckon the reason they got rid, obviously it needed a new bonnet. Someone's crunched it a little bit. High crunch, because there's no damage whatsoever to that bumper or the front panel. It's just that bonnet. So unfortunately, I don't think the bonnet's going to close because it's crunched and obviously pushed up. So that's a bit of a nuisance. So I'll put the other bonnet on it tomorrow, unless I can manage to force this closed. I'm always scared of doing that. If I force these bonnets closed and I can't get the things open, I'm knackered. But I'm going to give that a go and see if I can. Then I can just park it out on the road and not worry about it. So until tomorrow, we'll come back and we'll have a proper walk round of this in the proper daylight, and we'll get it plugged into MES and see what we can find out, and hopefully get to the bottom of it. So see you tomorrow. Okay, I'm now in Project Looney Harold. Strange name for a car, but there you go. So this is the first day after the walk around. It's the next day. It's a nice sunny day, and it's nice to have a lounge for a change that I can actually look up and see the sky, because the last few cars I've had have been pops. So I haven't had a lounge for some time yet. I haven't had a lounge for some time. Now, as you know, this one has got severe engine trouble. We don't know what it is. So we haven't got any of the warning lights on when the ignition is just on its own. And I'm just going to go through, I've launched multi-ECU scan, and I'm just going to start going through all the normal checks that I do. Connect adapter 3 yellow, it is connected. I think this is the latest version and it just tells you anyway, even though it's already connected. Got a bit of reflection off the screen. Right, so airbag ECU first, so I'm expecting there to be no errors, no fault codes, that's good. Disconnect. We will go on to dashboard, Blue and Me. Hopefully the Blue and Me is going to work. As you might have noticed, it's on my new laptop, or newish laptop. The other one died. I think I told you about that when I smashed it up. No fault codes on there. Disconnect. So the Blue and Me must work then, I guess, as it came up with no errors. So otherwise it would have said not connected or something. So that's a bonus. We're now connecting to the instrument panel. Now we know there's errors on this instrument panel. I can't actually see them in this light, but the airbag and I can't think what the other one is comes up dimly. So we will be doing a video on that. No fault codes, because we know that it's a regular fault. Body computer. Get off. Body computer. Oh, God's sake. What have I done now? Go away. I hate Windows. I'm a Mac person. Always have been, and I hate Windows. Such a load of rubbish. Unfortunately, they don't do a Mac version of MES, so I'm stuck with it. I know you can get an iPad version. Oh, number plate lights intermittent, right direction indicators present. Yeah, I noticed yesterday that there is a number plate bulb is missing, and also has the wires just hanging out the end. So don't quite know what's happened to that. Right direction indicator, that's that. Proxy configuration control, don't know what that's all about. We won't worry about that for the time being. So we can disconnect from that. Let's have a look at the service interval. So we don't know when this was last serviced. Oh, press white. As we've displayed before on here, sometimes this gives you a bit of an indication as to when it was last serviced. Parameters. There's a lot of noise going out on the road out there. I don't know what's going on. Adjustments. Last service date. Let's have a look. Execute. Come on. I'm trying to look through the camera and look at the screen at the same time. The 7th. That don't make sense. 07092. What? Last service date, day, month, year. Oh, I see. 7th of the 9th, 2014. Bloody hell. Was the last time? 2014? That's 6 years ago. Let's hope it's been serviced since then and it just they haven't reset it. Good God almighty. Wow. 7th of the 9th, 2014. So we'll cancel that. How many coupons we got? Let's have a look. Actually, no, we're not going to worry about that for the time being. We'll come back and do that afterwards. That's the least of our worries at the moment. So now what we have to do. Can you do something on the electric steering? I've never tried to connect to the electric steering before. CAN bus error. You probably have to do it without an adapter. Don't worry about that. So what we need to do, we need to go into the engine setting. To do that, we need to switch the ignition off, and then we need to take the yellow adapter off and plug it in directly. The yellow adapter, or the electric steering has just come up, so maybe that's without the yellow adapter. But all of the ECUs we normally plug into all use the yellow adapter on the Fiat 500, except for the engine, possibly the electric steering as well. So we're going to just disconnect that, and then we're going to have to start this engine, which makes a right old racket. So I've plugged it in. I haven't started the engine yet. I'm just going to see what comes up when I connect to the engine, just on its own, without having the engine started. Probably not very much. We'll see. Right, let's see if there's any errors that automatically come up. Maybe there is. Intake manifold air seepage. An intake pressure sensor. Brake pedal plausibility. So I know what the brake pedal plausibility is. So there's our problem straight away. Intake manifold air seepage. Intake pressure sensor. So we have a problem with the intake manifold. It just so happens that I've got one of those, which is handy. It does say intermittent, but then the pressure sensor is present. So what is the problem with it? Let's have a look. I'm just going to stop because I want to take a photograph of that. Whoa, look at all these. Warning, warning, warning. Check engine. Look at it, it's all over the shop. Look at the needle. I've got my foot on the accelerator. If I take my foot off the accelerator, that will execute. That will failed to execute. Why is that then? AC compressor relay. Oh, it's probably because I haven't got it on. Fuel pump relay. Look at that noise. Failed to execute. I don't know why that's failing to execute. All these are failing to execute for some reason. No, they're all of them. Why the hell? Look at the noise it's making. Number of programs, vehicle speed, engine speed. Look at the engine speed. Air temperature, engine oil temperature, spark advance. Now that actually means nothing whatsoever to me, but you can see it's going up and down, up and down, up and down. It's just selecting lots of different things here. All the spark advance. Okay, spark advance, so they're all on 0. Injection time is changing and changing. That really means nothing to me. If any of this means anything to you, which will give me a bit of an idea apart from those other bits, apart from that sensor and the air leakage and what have you, please let me know. Knock sensor. This is most uncomfortable sitting in this car. It's shaking all over the place. Right. Oh God, this is awful. I need to put the phone down for a minute because I can't do this properly. So lots of figures coming up here. So the lambdas, 0.22 volts. So maybe it's not the lambda sensors. I mean, if you can see any of those figures on here and it means anything to you, which will give me more of a clue. Obviously, we've already got that one error up. Which I will figure out which one is that sensor. I have no idea which that sensor that is, so I need to Google that and find out which one it is. And then chances are, I mean, presumably it goes on to the intake manifold, so I can take it off of the intake manifold that I've already got, that I took off of QE. and just change it and see what happens. Just need to try and find it. So yeah, if any of those figures mean anything to you, please let me know. Closed loop, open loop, system lean. A lot of this stuff is irrelevant. Let's disconnect that for a minute. No, I want to reconnect. It's just like being in a roller coaster, the way it's vibrating from side to side. Okay, so those errors. So the air seepage is intermittent, it says. So I'm going to clear the errors that are there. Oh! Started running. It's not shaking. Too high revs, but oh, how funny! All of a sudden it stopped. Oh, it's gone no fault codes. You know what? Since I cleared that, I don't know if that's a. I mean, the revs are too high. They were like 1100, something like that. But all of a sudden, since I cleared those codes, it stopped shaking. How weird is that? They're not coming back either. Obviously, I'm going to change that sensor. I may even change the entire thing. Still got the engine light up though. Oh no, that not engine light. Sorry, no, the engine light's gone out. Start stop is still up. The triangle is up, but that could be down to the indicator bulb. But it's not shaking from side to side. As soon as I cleared those codes, it stopped shaking from side to side. How bizarre is that? I want to select all these things again and see what the difference there are. That is really bizarre. Graphs don't really show me anything. So I wonder if it was trying to. The selected injector or group injector should be ticking regularly. The injectors are very quiet. Oh no, you do this, or you do all these things, I think, when the engine's not running. So that's why it's that's why I wouldn't connect to those. So we'll do that in a minute. We'll switch the engine. That is really weird. I'm sort of pleased. Oh, there's a little bit of a whoop there. So yeah, I mean the revs are obviously are much too fast, but this is almost looks as if I could drive it. I'm revving it. It's revving smoothly, ish. Now it's lumpy, but obviously if that sensor is knackered, I don't know why all of a sudden I've cleared the codes and it's done that, but I'm not going to complain about it. Cam edges, no, I don't need to do anything about that. Actuators, where are we? Where was adjustments? Parameters, oh here we go. Maximum engine speed time, maximum overall, I don't even know what that means. So spark advance is 28.8. I don't know what that was before. So I'm assuming something is. I mean, the ECU is probably kicking in, and for whatever the error is, it sort of tries to correct it, doesn't it? Advanced correction. I don't know if this is any different to what it was before. So these were all 0 before, weren't they? And they're now they're still more or less 0. A lot of this don't actually mean anything to me. It does give you a little explanation over on the right hand side. Coil charge, coil charge, coil charge. Oh, here we go again. It's knocking again. Oh, it's gone back, almost gone back to how it was. So I wonder if I go back to the other screen, the errors. I wonder if they'll come back up again. Let's try it. Oh, I've just disconnected, haven't I? Let's give it a go. It's not as lumpy as it was, but it's still lumpy. I guess the ECU is just trying to. coming up no fault code still. That's weird. Well, at least they were there before, so I know, even though they never come back, and one of them said present, so there's clearly something wrong with that. So I'm going to disconnect from that for the time being, and then I'm going to figure out where that sensor is, and I'm going to change it. So the air pressure, inlet air pressure sensor. This is the inlet manifold that I took off of Project Cooey, which is at the moment complete. That is the air pressure sensor, and on the car, that's the air pressure sensor. So it's the same sensor. Oops, got that caught. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take that off and swap it over. And with a bit of luck, that will fix the only real problem that this car has got. So fingers crossed. Obviously I'm going to service it anyway, but that's the first port of call. That was the error that came up on MES. When I cleared the error, it didn't come back, and the running of the engine was better. It gradually got worse again, on and off, excuse me. But the error didn't come back, but we'll see. We can talk about it all day, can't we? Let's change it and see what happens. So I'm going to take it off of here, take it off of there, swap them over. Well, that's the one I took out, which is quite oily. And the other one's in. Now I don't hold out much hope that this is going to do it, but how amazing would it be if I started it up now and it ran fine? How amazing would that be? And yes, that is beige girl you saw over there. What do you reckon? Let's try it. Turn the indicator off. I've done that bulb, by the way. And let's get in it. I did that bulb. Warning. Oh, low fuel. Right, let's try it. Nah, it's still rough. I thought it was a bit of a non-starter, but if you'll pardon the pun, but it was worth a try. So we need to carry on getting to the bottom of this. So I've ordered some spark plugs anyway. I've ordered some spark plugs. I've ordered, what else have I ordered? Don't know. I mean, it had that air intake error, didn't it? So maybe I will have to swap over the things. Obviously, there's nothing I can see down here at the moment. Yeah, don't know. We'll see. We'll change. I'm tempted to buy a coil pack. I've got a throttle body. I've got the one off of Cooey, so I could try changing the throttle body. Obviously, I want to do one thing at a time. I don't want to go swooping in. If you remember on the red pop that I had the tick over problem with, although I never got to the bottom of it, and it took until it was sold for the new buyer to figure out what was wrong with it, which he did straight away, or his mechanic did straight away. It's a process of elimination. I will plug it into the thing again, but I think what I'm going to do next, so I've ordered plugs, I'm going to change the plugs, then try it. If that don't work, I think I'll get a coil pack anyway. If I can get one cheap enough, I can always sell it if I don't need it, or just keep it for another car when I do need it. Obviously the one I took out of Cooey I sold, so I haven't got one. It's typical, isn't it? I don't think I've ever had to change coil packs. I've always sold them when I've broken the cars up. But you know, it might not be that. I might change it and it still does it. So we'll get to the bottom of it anyway. But as it came up with that air sensor error, it came up with a sensor error, but also came up with an air leakage in that inlet manifold. So I think that's probably more likely. But we'll see anyway. We'll give it a go. We'll change those plugs first and we'll go from there. So that's it for the time being on this one. I'll include these bits of video with the walk around. In fact, we'll carry on doing the walk around because we did it in the dark last night, so I just wanted to show you it in daylight. So I'm just going to close the bonnet. I am going to swap that bonnet over, I think. I've noticed that is very, very slightly deformed there. Not a lot, but I didn't think that the tiny little bit of damage that was on that bonnet was enough to Or is there damage to it? Actually, is there damage to it? I'm not sure there is. I can't actually see. There is a very, very, very tiny. So I might have to try and do a bit of adjustment down there. So I don't really know why that's not closing. It doesn't really seem to make any difference. So unless that has been pushed back slightly. But I'll have a little fiddle with that. I want to try and get this bonnet closed if I can. So yeah, let's just push it down for a second and then we'll come back and just finish that final walk around. So looking at this in the daylight, this panel, when it was on the transporter yesterday, this panel didn't look brilliant. But now I'm looking at it in the daylight, because it was sort of dusk yesterday, it actually looks alright. This is a former Cat S, so I don't know what's been repaired on it, but I suspect it was probably here. I don't know why I suspect that, but I do. Because I think we need to get it cleaned first, really, I suppose. But the wheels, as usual, curbed a little bit. It's got good tyres on it all the way around. Apart from the engine, everything seems to work. Need some new number plates, so I'll get those ordered. Yeah, there's no actual damage at all on it. Why are these? Oh look, that makes a change. It's one that's actually not damaged, not snapped. So yeah, there's no damage at all. So there's that tiny little bit on the seal, which you can, from this level, you can't even see it. So I'm not going to bother about that. Yeah, all the wheels were a little bit curbed, so they'll need a bit of touching up. Yeah, not much else to say about it really. I showed you the inside, didn't I? So it's not overly dirty. It's the usual thing. Stains, mats are dirty. I haven't even emptied it out yet. It's still got all the crap in it. I'm not even going to bother doing that at the moment. I was having a look at that front bit just because I wanted to try and get it to see if I could get it to run properly, but it didn't work. So I'm not going to worry about it. So that's it for the red one for the time being. Loopy Harold is yeah, work in progress. So if I can get that to the bottom of this engine business, then it'll be plain sailing. It will just be a matter of cleaning it inside and out, MOTing it, servicing it, and Bob's your auntie's living lover. Job done. It all depends on whether I can get to the bottom of, for those problems, the engine problems, swiftly and without too much problem. But as I say, it was a former Cat S, so is there a dent in this bonnet? I'm not sure. Yeah, there is a tiny. You can barely see it. It's just sort of creased downwards a little bit, so that might be why that's not closing. So I suppose I ought to try swapping the bonnets over. So I'd quite like to get this out on the road, really. But yeah, so that's this Project Loopy Harold for the time being. Thanks for watching again, as I always say. There'll be more of this to come in the coming days and weeks. Well, hopefully not weeks, hopefully only the coming days. We'll hopefully get to the bottom of the problems. As I say, when I was doing the multi-ECU scan, if anyone sees anything on there that makes you think, I know what that is, please let me know in the comments, and hopefully you can help me get to the bottom of the engine problems. So until the next video, thanks for watching. Don't forget, please like, share and subscribe, and we'll see you on the next one.